Hey, good morning. This is our Thursday morning meeting for Zoom on April 2nd. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to go over quickly your guys' lessons for today, and then we are going to spend the rest of the time with the comprehension, and I'm going to show you where to find all of that. So the first thing I want you guys to do is open up your Unit 5 Week 2 weekly schedule, which was posted on March 29th. Once you go there, you're going to see you have your Thursday morning Zoom meeting. For Connected, you're going to be reading the story Bully for Free Zone, and you're also going to be doing your CRC workbook pages, and then you'll be doing your comprehension practice test Laughing Joy, which is going to be done during this Zoom lesson. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you can always pause and stop as you need to be. So let's first show you guys in Connect Ed. When you guys go to Connect Ed, it should show you your Bully Free Zone story. Let me go to my student edition so I can show you guys that. And it seems like everyone is able to log in just fine with Connect Ed, which is awesome. So super proud of you guys. When you go to read, Bully Free Zone, if you scroll this way, okay? And if you're doing it with if you use this, then you can move them. You're gonna see Bully Free Zone right here. You're gonna click on Bully Free Zone, and then this story is very short. It's only 2 pages. So you are going to read these 2 pages. If for some reason it's not opening up on your computer, you can just pause the screen right now if you're on YouTube, and you can read the story like this. When you're done with that, you're going to be doing your CRC pages. Now, your CRC is your closed reading companion. You can do these pages online, or you can do them in your, you can also do them in your workbook. So it says you're gonna be doing pages 143 to 146. Oh, that's not it, right here. 143, 144, 145, and then 146. So you're going to be learning all about, being bully free, and how you guys can, perhaps maybe even stop bullying at your own schools or in your own homes. So that's what you're going to do. If you want to also do it in your workbook, this is the workbook page that it is. Let me show you guys my screen. Start video. So it's going to be this workbook, okay? It has the shark, and it says Closed Reading Companion, which stands for CRC, or CRC stands for that. And then you're going to be doing Bully Free Zone today, okay? So you can answer the questions either in your workbook or online. It's up to you. Ms. Dominguez and I will not be checking these. So it doesn't matter where you do them, okay? As long as you guys are doing them for extra practice for yourself. The next thing that you guys are going to be doing is going to be the comprehension practice test. Now, some of you guys were saying you're having a hard time finding it, so I'm going to show you guys. Now, in your class story, doesn't matter if you're from Ms. Parker or Ms. Dominguez, you're going to scroll down, and on March 30th, I posted a PDF file that says all comprehension practice and real tests. If you click on that PDF, it's going to open up this page that will say teamwork. Now, if you look at the top, it's gonna have 99 pages. The reason why there are so many is because this is from now, Unit 5, Week 2, all the way until the end of our year, and until the end of the school year. So in order to help you guys, because I know some of you guys have trouble with printing, I'm providing all of this so that if your parents do have access to a printer, maybe at work or something, they can just print out all the pages and you'll just have it. So that's what I did. I printed out all of these pages already, so I already have all of the paper copies. Now, we are doing Laughing Joy. Now, every week, there's gonna be 2 stories. The ones with questions numbers 1 through 5 is going to be your actual test. So teamwork is going to be the test you're going to take tomorrow. Laughing Joy is going to numbers 6 through 10. So always the ones that say 6 through 10 is always going to be the test you are going to take with us. So we are going to give you the answer. So this is considered a practice. Now, after this one, you're going to notice that it goes to another story. This next story is called Albert Einstein, and it says numbers 1 through 5 again. In order for you to know which story it is, you're going to look down here. So this says that this Albert Einstein story is for Unit 5, Week 3. So you know that you guys are going to be taking this test, because it's numbers 1 through 5, on Friday. And then you guys will be doing Heroes Among Us, which is number 6 through 10, as a practice on Thursday. So hopefully that helps. I'm going to show you guys a couple more. So like, let's say you don't know which this one is, okay? So this one says Party Power. This is number 6 through 10. So that's going to be a practice test, and it's going to be for unit 6, week 2. So this is going to be a long way away. So hopefully this helps you guys. Now, I know that some of you guys don't have a printer at home, or your printer isn't working, or you just aren't able to print that many things. If this is the case, what I want you guys to do is email or message on Dojo your teacher, or comment on the box when we post up your YouTube videos, and let us know so that we can print it for you, and then we will somehow get it to you guys. We can either have you guys pick it up from school, you know, whatever you guys need help with, so that you have those paper copies, because we do want to do them with you guys here in our class. Okay, so please let us know if you don't have a printer. Have your parents message us so that we can get a copy for you. Okay.
Boys and girls, I want to interject. Please let us know as soon as possible. All right, in the next few days would be most helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Be able to get the next stories, like Unit 5, Week 3.
Mm-hmm.
The sooner the better, please, and thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Dominguez. So the next thing is going to be your math lesson for today. So again, you guys will go to the Whitman website. From the Whitman website, you will go to Pearson. If you brought your Chromebook home, then you can just go to your folder. You're going to sign into your account, and then you are going to first watch the video, then do your digital quick check, or I'm sure you can do your video and then your workbook and then your digital quick check, whatever order. I recommend doing the digital quick check at the very end, because you're quickly checking to see if you understood the lesson or not. If you don't get 100%, then that's when we would encourage you guys to review more of the workbook pages that are given in this file, so that you guys have access to all of that. So topic 12, whole and equal parts. That's what you guys are going to be doing today. So let me show you guys the video first.
Look at the first circle. Are these parts equal? Yes, there are 2 equal parts. These are halves. Are the parts equal in the next circle? No, there are unequal parts. Why are the parts in this circle unequal? These are unequal because each side is a different size. They are not halves. Look at the first circle. How many equal parts are there? There are 3 equal parts. These are thirds. Tell about the parts in the next circle. There are unequal parts. They are not thirds. Look at the first rectangle. How many parts are there? There are 4 equal parts. These are fourths. How many lines are splitting the first rectangle? There are 3 lines. So the number of lines splitting the shapes is not always the same as the number of parts that are made. Are the parts in the next rectangle equal?
A way to show if they're equal is to think, if this was a chocolate bar and your parents said, okay, we're gonna split this evenly between you, me, your mom, and you got this piece here, and your brother or sister got this piece here, would that be equal? Would that be fair? Okay, so that's a way to help you visualize to see if something is equal or fair.
No, there are unequal parts. So they are not fourths. You can show equal parts in different ways. These all show 4/4.
So from there, you're going to go back to exit. And then remember, you are going to be doing your workbook pages. So here is your workbook. This is your science. This is your math. And then you are going to be doing 12-4 today. Now in the corner, you'll see that it says reteaching. And then on the other page, it's going to say practice. You're going to do these pages. Again, Miss Dominguez and I will not be going over the answers with you guys. So if you have questions, you need to reach out and let us know so that we can review these math terms with you guys if you're not understanding it. These videos should help you. And then your digital quick checks are going to tell you if you're understanding the lesson or not. So if you're getting like a 0%, a 50% on your digital quick checks, then you need to go back and review the answers and the videos. And if you're still having trouble and you aren't able to understand it, that's when you need to reach out to us. You can also do, there's daily Common Core review. Here are the practice and reteaching pages. And then there's games and then an enrichment. When you're done reviewing everything, then you'll take your digital quick check. So here it is right here. And I love how this student has everything done. So everything is incompleted. She has nothing in progress. And the only thing she needs to do today is going to be your digital quick check for today. So awesome job to those of you guys who have this page empty, okay, with just that one thing. If you guys finish early, remember there's always going to be the game center and math tools that you guys can use. The next thing we are going to review is going to be, you have your reading. Make sure you guys are reading 20 minutes every day. One of my students, Isabella, actually finished reading the BFG and she wrote a summary and she shared it with me yesterday and it was so awesome. So thank you, Isabella, for sharing your summary with me on BFG. If any of you guys want to do that and share it with your teachers, you guys are more than welcome to. For PE, get your heart rate up. Make sure you guys are doing some sort of activity that either makes you sweat or makes you really feel like your heart is beating fast, because that's going to really help you exercise. And then for science, the only thing you guys have to do today is going to be in your workbook. So you do not need to go onto the science website. You are going to be doing pages 62 and page 63 in your Inspire Science workbook. You're going to be learning about a day in the life of a civil engineer. Now, you're going to notice that we skipped pages 60 to 61. Pages 60 to 61 was that inquiry activity from yesterday. So if you guys want to answer those questions from yesterday, this is the workbook page that you guys can do, but remember it is optional, okay? The next one is going to be your writing in a journal or Google Slides. You can do your selfie writing in Google Slides, or you could write in like a journal or a notebook or a diary. We want you guys to be writing at least one informational or one opinion or one narrative each week. So, and then the other 2 days, you guys can do any type of writing that you want. Make sure you guys are doing paragraphs. It needs to be 4 to 6 sentences or more. Okay, you need to be writing paragraphs. I noticed that some of you guys are doing like sentences in your selfie writing online, and we need to make sure those are going to be paragraphs. If you have any questions about how to do paragraph writing or how to do narrative, information, or opinion, just let us know. And then the last thing is going to be your 5 things: practice spelling test, practice vocabulary test, your grammar mechanics, and words to know. If you finish your technology time early, then you can stay on Spelling City or Connect Ed or Pearson, or go to Read Theory or Typing Club to practice your educational technology time. Okay, so I'm not going to review where to go to these sites. I think every other day we've showed you guys so far pretty much. So if you aren't sure how to log into your writing or your 5 things, this is a perfect opportunity for you to go back to our other YouTube videos and to scroll maybe closer towards the end to see where to find those websites, or you can message your teacher, okay? The next thing we are going to now do is our comprehension lesson. So again, remember, you go to Class Dojo, and then here is the link. Now, if for some reason you weren't able to print it right now, you can go to this right now, and then you guys can go to Laughing Joy and you guys can follow along with me, okay? So I'm gonna give you guys that opportunity. For those of you guys who actually already printed it out, that's what I am going to be doing for you guys. I'm actually going to be highlighting and annotating for you now, okay? So,
Miss Park, how come I see everybody?
you might be in gallery view, which is fine.
I just happen to have, I did what you asked. I did do star video.
So today we are going to be doing Laughing Joy. If you did not print it out, that's okay. I want you guys to follow along, and then by today, as Ms. Dominguez said, we want you guys to let us know if you don't have a copy of this, and we will print it out for you guys so that you guys can pick it up so you can follow along. Now, Laughing Joy, I always start off with highlighting our questions. So what I'm going to do right now,
I have a dog.
share your screen, please. Stop participants sharing. Okay. What I'm going to do is I am going to do question 6. Okay, this question has 2 parts. First answer part A, then answer part B. Part A, how do the neighbors feel about joy at the beginning of the passage? Which sentence from the passage best supports your answer in part A? So what I'm going to highlight is neighbors feel about joy beginning. Go ahead and highlight those words. Neighbors feel about joy beginning. Now, if you are on gallery view, you're not going to be able to see my highlighting. So please make sure you go to the top, and instead of clicking gallery view, you need to click speaker view. So there's a button at the top that says speaker view, and then it's going to make my screen really big so that you guys can see what I'm highlighting, okay? Which sentence from the passage best supports your answer? So highlight best supports your answer. So we need to find out, how do the neighbors feel about joy at the beginning of the story? And beginning is even bolded. And then what sentence will best support our answer that we choose? Question number 7. Read the sentence from the story. Joy's mother did not want to make Joy sad, but she did not want to make waves with the neighbors either. What does make waves mean? So what I want you guys to do is highlight, what does make waves mean? And then I also want you guys to highlight that mom did not want to make Joy sad, but did not want to make waves either. So that's going to help us understand. So she did not want to make Joy sad, but did not also want to make waves either with her neighbors. So what does make waves mean? So she feels like she needs to make both people happy. Seems like she wants to make everyone happy. And if she makes one person happy, it looks like she's going to be making waves with the other. So we have to find out what makes waves means. The next thing you guys are going to do is go to question 8. Now, question 8, why does Joy's mother decide to move? Pick 2 choices. Why does Joy's mother decide to move? Pick 2 choices. So highlight why mother decide to move, and then highlight 2. Why mother decide to move 2. So mom is moving. Now we want to know why. We have to give an explanation. Question number 9. Read the sentence from the passage. Circle the word that is a clue to the meaning of the phrase, feel blue. They missed Joy's laughter. The neighbors began to feel blue without it. So I want you to highlight clue, meaning of the phrase, feel blue. So which of those words in those 2 sentences might be a clue to the meaning of the passage, feel blue? They missed Joy's laughter, so I want you to highlight missed and then feel blue without it. So without Joy's laughter, they're feeling blue because they missed it. And usually when you miss something, like a lot of you guys are saying, oh, we miss going to school or we miss our friends. So if you're feeling blue, it must have something to do with missing something or someone. Okay, next page is going to be question 10. This question has two parts. First answer part A, then answer part B. Why is it important that the neighbors ask Joy's family to move back to the village? Which sentence from the passage best supports your answer in part A? What I want you guys to highlight is why neighbors ask Joy to move back. Why neighbors ask Joy to move back. So why is it important that the neighbors are asking Joy's family to move back to the village? Why do the neighbors want them to move back? And then for part B, I want you to write best supports. So which of those sentences would best support why they wanted them to move back? And then the last question is going to be, how are the mothers alike in both passages? Now for this one, you are going to need your pencil because we are not going to be reading teamwork today. You are going to be reading teamwork on your own. So we are actually going to cross out this question. And then what we're going to do is at the very end, after we're done reading, then we'll come up with a new question. So this is not the question we're going to answer today because we are not going to be reading teamwork. Again, remember, the comprehension tests are a test that you take on your own. You do not take it by yourself. So we want to make sure that you guys are given the strategies and skills so that you guys can do it on your own. Okay. Now, before we start reading our story, what we're going to do is we are going to reread what we highlighted in our questions. So, starting with question number 6. Neighbors feel about Joy beginning. So remember, we need to remember how the neighbors feel about Joy in the beginning. And then, which sentence best supports your answer? So, best supports your answer. Question 7.
There's 2 parts, pardon me, Miss Park, with 6.
So best supports your answer, yes.
Okay.
Question 7. Did not want to make Joy sad. Did not want to make waves either. What does make waves mean? Does not want to make Joy sad. Does not want to make waves either. What does make waves mean? So we want to know what make waves means. Why does Joy's mother decide, why mother decides to move? 2, so we need to pick 2. Why the mother decides to move, pick 2. And then clue, meaning of the phrase feel blue, missed, feel blue without it. And then the last one, since 11, we're gonna have to answer later. Why neighbors ask Joyce to move back, best supports. Okay, so to review, we want to find out why do they want Joy's family to move back to the village? Why does she move in the first place? What does feeling blue mean? How do the neighbors feel about Joy at the beginning of the story? And then what does it mean to make waves? So now that we've reviewed all of the questions, what we are going to do is with our highlighter, we are going to highlight areas of the story that we think is going to help us answer those questions to the best of our ability, okay? So let's start. Laughing Joy.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
That's okay.
Take a look at the help
Okay,
section.
Laughing Joy. Long ago, a baby girl was born in a mountain village. The baby looked around with wide eyes and smiled, then she let out a little laugh. What a happy baby, her mother said. I will name her Joy. As Joy grew, she laughed merrily all day long. She laughed when she woke up in the morning, and sometimes Joy even laughed in her sleep. When the neighbors worked outside in their yards, they often heard Joy's laughter. The sounds made them feel happy. Ooh. So how did they feel? They felt happy. So often heard Joy laughter. The sound made them feel happy. So this is the beginning of the story. the beginning of the story, they love hearing her laughter. As Joy got bigger, her laugh got louder. When the neighbors were outside, they covered their ears. Soon they could hear Joy's laughter when they were inside their houses, and the neighbors began sleeping with pillows over their heads. Uh-oh. So this is still kind of at the beginning of the story. So they are now covering their ears. So her laugh got louder. So they're covering their ears, and they began sleeping with pillows over their heads. So I want you to highlight all of those things. So first they're happy, but then it gets louder. They're covering their ears. They began sleeping with pillows over their heads. So wow. So now if you're covering your ears, just like in that picture, usually when you're covering your ears, that means that you don't like the sound of something. It's a little too loud. No matter what they tried, they could hear Joy's laughter all day long. They wanted the laughing to stop. Ooh. So they first liked the laughter when she was a baby, but now that she's a little bit older, they want the laughing to stop. They don't like it anymore. I don't think it makes them happy anymore. Turn the page. We want some peace and quiet, the neighbors told Joy's mother. Can you make Joy a little sad? Then she will stop laughing so much. Joy's mother did not want to make Joy sad, but she did not want to make waves with the neighbors either. Oh, that was one of our questions. So she did not want to make Joy sad because they said, can you make Joy a little sad so that she will stop laughing? So that's what they want her to do. Can you make her sad so she's going to stop laughing? But Joy's mother does not want to do that. But she does not want to make waves either. She did not want to make waves with the neighbors either. Highlight that. She did not want to make waves with the neighbors either. So that basically means that she doesn't want to make her daughter sad, but she also knows that when her daughter is laughing so much that it's kind of annoying to those other neighbors, they're really sad too. They're no longer happy, they're sad. So she doesn't want to make waves. Now think of a wave like the waves that are crashing on the beach. Now, those waves are not what she's talking about, but it's a good metaphor. It's a simile. It helps you understand what she's trying to say. It's an idiom. She did not want to make waves with the neighbors. So a wave usually happens and, things are kind of crazy or busy or, think of like when the waves are on the sand, like a lot of things get tossed around, like the sand gets tossed around, sometimes like kids and their surfboards and their boogie boards. So if she did not want to make waves with the neighbors, it means that she didn't want to make the neighbors upset with her, or she did not want to have to bother the neighbors and make them unhappy. Then Joy's mother had an idea. The family would move to the other side of the mountain. Joy could be happy there and the neighbors would not hear Joy's laughter anymore. Okay, so instead of creating waves, instead of, making them upset or angry, she decides to move away. So that was her idea. So Joy's mother idea, the family would move to the other side of the mountain. And the reason why she does that is so that no one will hear her laughter anymore. So Joy's mother idea, and her idea was to move far, far away so that even when Joy is laughing, no one can hear her and then they won't be upset. So that's what she decides to do. Soon after Joy and her family moved away, the neighbors began to notice something. It was quiet inside. It was quiet outside. There was no laughter anywhere. They missed Joy's laughter. The neighbors began to feel blue without it. They wanted Joy and her family to come back. So that was another question. So the neighbors began to feel blue without it. They wanted Joy and her family to come back. I want you to highlight those last two sentences. So if the neighbors are feeling blue without her constant laughing and they want the family to come back, that means that they miss the family. So I want you guys to also highlight that. They missed joy. If they're missing someone, if you're missing somebody and you want them to come back, that means that you're really sad that they've been gone. So feeling blue must mean something to do with being sad. Now, another thing you guys can think about is a Disney movie called Inside Out, and it has those 5 feelings. There's anger, sadness, joy, fear, and disgust, if you guys ever watched that movie. And if you guys know, the person who plays sadness, her color is actually blue. So you guys can think, just like in that movie Inside Out, sadness is blue. So if the neighbors began to feel blue, that must mean that she's feeling pretty sad. All right, so the neighbors climbed over the mountain to ask Joy and her family to move back. We are very sorry, they said. We miss you and we miss Joy's laughter. Please come back. Joy smiled and her mother laughed. Then Joy laughed out loud, which made everyone smile. Everyone returned to the village together. Once again, Joy's laughter could be heard all over the village, but this time everyone smiled. The neighbors had learned it was much better to take the good with the bad. So that must be the conclusion or the theme or the main idea or the lesson of the story. The neighbors had learned it was much better to take the bad with the good. So what that means is that, sometimes things aren't always the best. Like in this example, the neighbors, sometimes the laughing is really loud and, that's all that they're hearing. But even though sometimes it's not the nicest thing that they want to hear, most of the time it makes them happy. So it's worth it. It's kind of like, I don't know, sometimes like, maybe like, let's say you have like a baby brother or baby sister, and your baby brother, baby sister is always crying at night. But then sometimes, your baby brother is like really nice to you and hugs you and gives you kisses. It's like, oh, well, you know what? Having a baby brother is not so bad at all. Or maybe you have like a dog. If you have a pet dog, sometimes you have to pick up the dog's poop, or, maybe the dog like accidentally scratches you with its claws, or maybe it accidentally pees on the carpet. But, a dog provides you with a loving companionship and friendship, and it takes care of you, and it makes sure you get exercise. So, you take the bad with the good. Sometimes it might be hard to have a pet, but at the end of the day, you might feel happier about it. So those are some examples of what this theme means. Now what we're going to do is, before we go ahead and read our questions, we are going to look back at the story and read what we just highlighted to help us understand what we are going to be answering the questions to, okay? Often heard Joy's laughter. The sound made them feel happy. Her laugh got louder, covered their ears, began sleeping with pillows over their heads. They wanted the laughing to stop. Can you make Joy a little sad? Stop laughing. But she did not want to make waves with the neighbors either. Joy's mother idea, the family would move to the other side of the mountain. They missed Joy's laughter. The neighbors began to feel blue without it. They wanted Joy and her family to come back. The neighbors had learned it was much better to take the bad with the good. Now that we've highlighted the answers that we think will help us answer the questions from our story, now we are going to do question number 6. You guys can actually put your highlighters away since we don't need our highlighters. And then we are going to now use our pencil. The reason why I'm using a pen is so that you can see my answers a little better. You guys can use whatever you want. This question has 2 parts. First answer part A, then answer part B. Part A, how do the neighbors feel about Joy at the beginning of the passage? They like her. They think she is noisy. They think she is too big. They think she should laugh more. Now, if we remember, at the beginning of the story, it says, they often heard Joy's laughter. The sound made them feel happy. So if they feel happy, and that was the very beginning, that was the first thing. So I want you guys to highlight. Beginning means first. If you are at the beginning of the story, you might be on the first few pages. Or if I say to start at the beginning, like let's say you're telling me something that happened at the park, and I'm saying, okay, start at the beginning. I want you to tell me the first thing that happened. So I want you guys to write down first. So how do they first feel? And in the story, if we reread, it says that they feel happy. They feel happy when they hear it. So I want you guys to write that here. When you reread the story, it says that they felt happy. So if they feel happy, then that must mean that they like her. I don't think that it means that she's too noisy or too big. I don't think those are the right ones. They think she should laugh more. Now, not necessarily, because when she did start laughing more and louder, that's not when they liked it. They just liked her. They just were happy. They don't want more from it. Think about, like, let's say if we give you, I don't know, free computer time. Let's say that you're at school and we give you free computer time and you guys say, yay, we're really happy. But then we say, okay, you guys have free computer time all day and you don't do anything else. I don't know if you guys would want more computer time. I know some of you guys might think, yeah, that sounds awesome. But a lot of you guys actually, when I do give you guys free computer time, you say, I don't really want computer time. Can I read a book instead? Or can I draw? Sometimes when you have too much of something, it's not always good. So I don't think that they want more laughter. I think the best answer is going to be that they like her. I think when you like someone, they make you happy. So I think liking her and happy are going to be the most similar. So go ahead and put a check mark there and then bubble in A. Okay, part B. Which sentence from the passage best supports your answer in part A? This is where rereading will help you. Long ago, a baby girl was born in the mountain village. The baby looked around with wide eyes and smiled. Then she let out a little laugh. The sound made them feel happy. Now, a lot of times I tell you guys to look for similar words, but there aren't a lot of similar words. The only similar words I really see are in laugh and laugh here. But we know that they don't want her to laugh more, so I don't think that is going to be the best answer, because we didn't put D, and D would have gone with C, so I don't think C would have been the best answer. Now, long ago, a baby girl was born in the mountain village. Now, they like her because long ago she was born. I don't think they like her because she was born in the mountain village. So I'm going to put an X. They like her because the baby looked around with wide eyes and smiled. Now, which sentence best supports that they like her? Now, I don't think that they might like her because of that, but initially what they hear is her laughter, and they loved her laughter. The sound made them feel happy. So they like her and they feel happy. So I'm going to go ahead and circle like and happy. And the reason why I'm also going to choose D is because if you notice, I even wrote happy over here. So if I circle this happy and like, and then this happy down here, the sound making them feel happy shows you their feelings. And if you think about it also, the question even says feel. So I'm going to circle feel, and I want you to circle feel here. The question even tells you to tell you how the neighbors feel. And here it tells you that they feel happy. So we know that this is the best answer because the neighbors feel happy, and the sentence from the passage that best supports it is going to be D. Question number 7. Joy's mother did not want to make Joy sad, but she did not want to make waves with the neighbors either. What does make waves mean? Why don't we plug it in? I want you guys to write this comprehension strategy, right? Plug it in. What we're going to do is we're going to plug in these answers into the line and see which one makes the most sense, okay? Joy's mother did not want to make Joy sad, but she did not want to ride along with the neighbors either. Okay, I don't think, or I'm sorry, not ride along, get along. She did not want to get along with the neighbors either. I don't think she didn't want to get along with them. I think she wanted to get along with them. So I don't think A is the correct answer. Joy's mother did not want to make Joy sad, but she did not want to ride in a boat with the neighbors either. I don't think she wanted to ever ride in a boat. It says nothing in the story about riding a boat. Joy's mother did not want to make Joy sad, but she did not want to become friends with the neighbors either. I don't think she did not want to be friends with them. I think she wanted to be their friend. So it can't be C. Let's try D. Joy's mother did not want to make Joy sad, but she did not want to cause problems with the neighbors either. Ooh. Now, we did talk about waves being kind of messy and, getting everywhere. And so maybe she doesn't want to cause problems. She wants everything to, kind of be still, like a lake. She doesn't want to cause problems. She doesn't want to make a mess. So I think D is the best answer. So go ahead and bubble in D. Okay, next question. And then again, if I'm moving on too fast for you guys can always log into YouTube later and then watch this video again and pause and stop as you need. Question 8, why does Joy's mother decide to move? Pick 2 choices. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reread. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to my story and I'm going to reread. Can you make Joy a little sad? Then she will stop laughing so much. Joy's mother did not want to make Joy sad, but she did not want to make waves with the neighbors either. Then Joy's mother had an idea. The family would move to the other side of the mountain. Joy could be happy there and the neighbors would not hear Joy's laughter anymore. So why does Joy's mother decide to move? She is being silly? No, I think she's trying not to make waves. That's not being silly. That's actually being very considerate. She is very caring. Ooh, I just said that she's being very considerate. So yeah, I think she's being caring. She wants to make Joy happy and she wants to make her neighbors happy. She is being brave. I'm not sure. Brave doesn't, maybe it's kind of brave. Maybe it's like scary on the other side of the mountain. Maybe it's kind of scary to be alone, but it doesn't necessarily say anything about that. She is feeling scared. Can you make Joy a little sad? She did not want to make waves. I don't think she's really being scared. I don't think she feels scared. I think she's feeling more sad. So I'm not sure about that one either. And then she is very thoughtful. Oh, she is very thoughtful. I think she is being thoughtful. She's thinking about Joy and she's thinking about her neighbors. Now, we know that it's not going to be A. We think it's B and E, and then maybe C and D. Now, the only 2 ones that we put a check mark against is B and E, and we're only picking 2 choices. So I think if we were to look at all of these again, she is being caring, she is being brave, she is being scared, or she's being thoughtful. I think caring and thoughtful are the best answers. I don't think she's being brave because I don't think it's very scary, and I don't think she's feeling scared because it doesn't mention that she's moving to a scary part of the village. So I think B and E are your best answers. Question number 9, read the sentence from the passage. Circle the word that is a clue to the meaning of the phrase, feel blue. They missed Joy's laughter. The neighbors began to feel blue without it. Now, read the sentence. Circle the word that is a clue to the meaning of feeling blue. Now, you guys all know from what I shared with you guys about Inside Out that feeling blue means to be sad. And usually when we're sad, that means that we miss something. So I think that missed is the best answer. So go ahead and circle missed. I think missed tells us that feeling blue means that, they miss it, they're sad, and they want it back. Next page. Question number 10. This question has 2 parts. First answer part A, then answer part B. Why is it important that the neighbors ask Joy's family to move back to the village? So I am going to, again, reread. So let me find that page. They missed Joy's laughter. The neighbors began to feel blue without it. They wanted Joy and her family to come back. So the neighbors climbed over the mountain to ask Joy and her family to move back. We are very sorry, they said. We miss you and we miss Joy's laughter. Please come back. Joy smiled and her mother laughed. Then Joy laughed out loud, which made everyone smile. Everyone returned to the village together. Once again, Joy's laughter could be heard all over the village, but this time everyone smiled. The neighbors had learned it was much better to take the bad with the good. So why is it important that the neighbors ask Joy's family to move back to the village? It teaches Joy to stop laughing? No. It doesn't say she stops laughing. It makes the neighbors feel better. Why is it important that the neighbors ask Joy's family to move back to the village? It makes the neighbors feel better. I don't think they're feeling guilty. Usually when it makes you feel better, it means that they were feeling guilty and they want to not feel guilty anymore. And I don't think they're feeling guilty. I think they truly, really missed having Joy and her family. It shows that the neighbors miss hearing laughter. Yeah, I think so. I think that the neighbors miss her. And one of the key words in there is going to be miss. They miss hearing it. They miss hearing her laughter. They miss seeing Joy's family. I think they miss her. And then it shows that the family is too far from the village. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be too far from the village. I think the one that makes the most sense, and if you guys let's reread it again. It says, soon after Joy and her family moved away, the neighbors began to notice something. It was quiet inside. It was quiet outside. There was no laughter anywhere. They missed Joy's laughter. So more than saying that they miss the family, it's saying that they miss her laughter. So I think C is the correct answer. And I'm also going to even circle laughter because I think missing her laughter is the main reason they want the Joy's family to move back. Part B, which sentence from the passage best supports your answer in part A? So here, let's see if we can find some matching words. We want some peace and quiet, the neighbors told Joy's mother. No, that's not why they're asking them to come back. That's why they told them to move in the first place. It's not A. We miss you and we miss Joy's laughter. Ooh, I see similar words. I see miss. I see laughter. Then Joy laughed out loud, which made everyone smile. So why is it important that the neighbors ask Joy to move back? So they're asking to move back. So I want you guys to box the word ask up here. They're asking her to move back, and asking is here because it's in quotation marks. When you ask something, you're using your words, and usually when we ask something in stories, we have to put quotation marks around it. So they're asking her. So I don't think C would be the best answer either, because in B, they're asking. We miss Joy's laughter. We miss you. Can you guys come back? Everyone returned to the village together. Now that doesn't tell us why. It doesn't tell us why they want to return to the village. So I think the best answer is going to be B. I hope that helped you guys. If at any point you guys need to review this, you can watch the YouTube video and review and rewind as much as you need to. If it's still not making any sense, please reach out to your teacher and we will review it again with you guys. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to answer question number 11 together. Now we are only going to answer question 11 based on our story, Laughing Joy. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to help you guys write an informational article. So we are actually going to write a paragraph right now. And if you guys want, you guys can actually count this as your paragraph writing for today. So you don't need to do your writing lesson today as long as you're following along. I am going to move a little quickly since I do realize it's 10 o'clock now. So I'm going to do it rather quickly and in just like short sentences. And then you guys can watch the video later, or you can you guys can watch the video later and record it from there, okay? So let's give a summary. So this is gonna be an informational article on Laughing Joy. So what I'm going to do is let's find my first story. Okay, so in Laughing Joy, so the first thing you need to do is you need to indent, because we are going to be writing a paragraph today. Okay, in Laughing Joy, comma. In Laughing Joy, Joy laughs a lot in her village. period. I know, we will go over it in a second, okay? I'll answer questions in a little bit. In laughing Joy, Joy laughs a lot in her village. I'm going to use my transition words. First, the neighbors are happy, comma, but then they want it to stop. Okay, and then remember, if you don't have a pencil right now, just follow along and then I will post the YouTube video. Sometimes it takes a while for it to load, but I will try to post it in the next hour. Stephen, I'll answer a question at the very end, okay? First, the neighbors are happy, but then they want it to stop. Next, they ask Joy's family to make her sad. Next, they ask Joy's family to make her sad. Then, what does Joy's family moves far away. Okay, this is the reason why this is an informational article is because we're giving real facts and real information about the story. The story might not be real, but the facts that we're giving right now are real. So this would be considered an informational or a summary, whichever one you want to call it. Next, they ask Joy's family to to make her sad. Then Joy's family moves far away. After that, here's another transition word. After that, the village misses Joy's laughter. So ask her to come back. And then now all we need is a conclusion. So in laughing Joy, Joy laughs a lot in her village. First, the neighbors are happy, but then they want it to stop. Next, they ask Joy's family to make her sad. Then Joy's family moves far away. After that, the village misses Joy's laughter, so ask her to come back. And then now I'm gonna do my conclusion. In conclusion, and you could even copy or rewrite what they wrote. They learn it's better to take the good with the bad. And what I did was I rewrote the conclusion of their story and I made it into my own words. So I switched out and I put bad and good in different places. Instead of saying the neighbors had learned it was much better, I just said they learned it's better. So here is your conclusion. I'm sorry, your conclusion and your paragraph. I wrote 6 sentences. This is what you guys should be doing every day. Since I'm doing it for you guys right now, you guys do not have to do a writing for today as long as you show this to your parents. So you need to actually physically write this down. You can watch it in the in our YouTube video later. I should be posting this in the next hour, okay? If it's not posted in an hour, it's just taking a long time to load. So let me reread it again before I move on. In laughing Joy, Joy laughs a lot in her village. First, the neighbors are happy, but then they want it to stop. Next, they ask Joy's family to make her sad. Then Joy's family moves far away. After that, the village misses Joy's laughter, so ask her to come back. In conclusion, they learn it's better to take the good with the bad. So this was your practice comprehension test. Tomorrow, you guys are going to be taking your selection test, your comprehension test teamwork, and also your spelling and vocabulary test. There's no math test tomorrow. There's no science test tomorrow, okay? Now, I am going to give you guys the answers to I'm gonna be giving you guys the answers to your selection test right now. So for the 46 of you guys who are on right now, you guys are gonna get the answers to our selection test. So let me find it. And then while I'm finding it, I'm keeping this up so you guys can see it. And then for those of you who want to review the questions and answers, you guys can rewatch the YouTube video to hear the answers to Baby Brother. Once Upon a Baby Brother. Okay, Once Upon a Baby Brother. Here are your questions for tomorrow. Question number 1. Okay, question number 1. What did Lizzie do from the time she could talk? What did Lizzie do from the time she could talk? The answer is tell stories. So ever since Lizzie could talk, she would tell stories. Who is Big George in the story? Big George is Lizzie's dog. Lizzie's dog. How did Lizzie feel when her mother took Marvin to grandma's? She was thrilled. She loved that that mother took Marvin to grandma's. She was thrilled. After Lizzie could not think of anything to write, what gave her an idea? So Marvin spilled her juice. So if you guys remember in the story, Marvin spilled her juice, and that's what gave her the idea to write her story. So make sure for question number 4, don't get confused. After Lizzie could not think of anything to write, what gave her an idea? It was when Marvin spilled her juice. And then the last question is, the story gives you reason to believe that Marvin and his messes gave Lizzie inspiration for her story. So her little brother Marvin, his messes, because he was super duper messy in the story, that's what gave her the inspiration to write her stories. So those are your answers. If you guys have any questions about anything, you guys can stay on. And if you need this page, then I will have it on YouTube and you guys can pause the video and record it. Record it down.